How you doing, everyone? I am back with a vinyl update, and an awesome vinyl update at that. I've got some really cool things to show you. There's one specific album I need to show you. You all know it, but I'm going to need maybe a little bit of advice on it, because I'll explain later, but it's going to be the last one I show, because it is the jewel in the crown of this week's pickups. So I will need to get a bit of advice on it. But first of all, I'm going to show some stuff I've got off eBay. I went in a dig yesterday as well, so some of it is from the dig, but I'm going to start with the lesser known albums, and these are albums that I have heard before, but I've just never pulled the trigger on. They were really cheap. And I'll also do, if you haven't seen my needle drop video, I've started doing needle drops on albums that are maybe lesser known to some of the guys on YouTube. So I'm going to start with them, and the first one I'm going to start with is from 1990, and it's Johnny Crash and their album Neighbourhood Threat. Now, the first thing that caught my eye was this cover. That's an amazing cover, big cartoon pitbull kind of thing. I hadn't heard this band until I saw this for sale on eBay, and surprisingly, it's very, very much like AC/DC, and I'm not the biggest AC/DC fan, and I've now figured out completely why I'm not the biggest AC/DC fan, and it is Brian Johnson's voice. I'm sure for a lot of you, vocalist can make or break an album or a band for you, and I think that's what the problem is for me with AC/DC. It's Brian Johnson. I can't click with his voice, that kind of raspy, gassy vocal that he's well known for. But Johnny Crash is basically musically AC/DC, but they've almost got like a kind of hair metal style vocalist, which makes a massive difference for me. That kind of higher, cleaner vocal, and this is a really, really great album. I mean, musically, if you took away the vocalist, you'd think it was AC/DC, but switch the singers, you've got Johnny Crash. This does come with the custom inner with lyrics. So yeah, I would check them out if you're the same as me, which I know a lot of you won't be. I know AC/DC has a lot of love, but if you're like me and you can't really get to grips with Brian Johnson's voice, check out Johnny Crash, because it's AC/DC through and through, but different style vocals, so it really works for me. So that is Johnny Crash from 1990. Next up is a band that this album comes up a lot, and it's the same album. I've not seen any others on eBay, but it is from a seller that I buy from a lot, so it always flashes up on screen for me. And I've kind of watched it on eBay, and then unwatched it, and then watched it again, because it was really cheap, and I just didn't really take the time out to really research them on YouTube and see what their sound was all about. But I finally did, and I really, really liked it. They were described as a hair metal band, and I wouldn't describe these guys as hair metal. They're basically straight up hard rock, stroke heavy metal. I mean, the vocalist has got an element of like that hair metal, high pitched kind of style, but I wouldn't say it was hair metal. And this is their 1987 debut, and it's the band Mindstorm. Now, as far as I know, they've only brought out 3 albums, but it's really interesting because it's almost got a kind of like electronic feel about it. It's kind of hard to explain, but it is really, really interesting, a really good listen. On the inside, you do get the custom inner with lyrics, and yeah, it's a really hard band for me to explain. There's not a lot to listen to on YouTube. I think they've only got 3 songs on YouTube, but if you are interested, check out the song "See the Future" and tell me what you think, because I just kind of get like electronic elements in there, mixed with kind of hard rock. So really interesting. Very strange cover as well. But this is the only version I've seen on eBay, so I thought I'd pick it up. I think it was £6, and it was also from a seller that I buy from quite a lot, so there was no issues with condition or anything like that. So that is Mindstorm from 1987. And the last lesser known album I'm going to show is from a band called the Tattooed Loveboys. I think I've seen Steve, the Headbanging Zulu, show this band, and I don't think it was this album, but this is No Time for Nursery Rhymes from 1991. Yeah, 1991. It's on Music for Nations, number 120. And this is in the same style as, say, LA Guns, kind of Sleazebees. I mean, you can tell by that look, it's like in the vein of that kind of early 90s hard rock, bluesy kind of style. So I've actually been watching this for a while as well, and I thought, why not pull the trigger and check it out. And it is really, really good. Definitely worth the pick up. Inside, it does come in its own polyline sleeve. As you can see, there's the Music for Nations label, and also comes with the custom inner with lyrics and some quote on the other side. So yeah, definitely check out Tattooed Loveboys. And what I'm going to do is, if you haven't seen my very first needle drop video, which I did at the start of the week, I'm going to do a few of these in my next video. Just thought it'd be a really good idea to kind of share some of the maybe the lesser known albums with you guys on YouTube. So yeah, that's Tattooed Loveboys from 1991. No Time for Nursery Rhymes. Check them out, or watch my next needle drop video. So we're going on to some stuff I picked up from yesterday's dig. I didn't really go out looking for a big stack of stuff. I came out with 4 albums. In fact, one of the albums I'm going to show is also from eBay, but I'm going to leave that till the end as well. Yeah, didn't go out looking for a lot of stuff, just thought I'd have a wee browse, but saw some really great stuff. I did mention in one of my previous videos in the last week or so that I did leave a lot of good stuff the last time I was in the shop I go to, and a lot of it was gone. But a lot of the really great stuff was still there, which I did leave. There's a lot of Iron Maiden still there, which normally gets snapped up. And I get surprised every time. I just get a good feeling when I go into this shop. It's so wee, it's cramped, it's dusty, it's not got a very good presentation. All the CDs, tapes, the vinyl were all in just like crappy wooden crates, and it's not a very good presentation when you go in, but some of the stuff you find in this shop is just amazing. So the first one I'm going to start with is it's from Scorpions. As you may know, if you've been following my channel over the last couple of months, I have just recently kind of discovered the Scorpions outside of Winds of Change and Rock You Like a Hurricane. That's all I pretty much knew from the Scorpions, and I'm really enjoying them. I do have the album I'm about to show on CD, and it is Crazy World, which I absolutely love. This is also on my iPod, which I listen to a lot at work, and whenever a song off this album comes on, it just gets me in an awesome mood. This is from 1990. As you can see, we still have the shrink wrap on, but sorry to say that'll be coming off because it's pretty brittle. But yeah, awesome condition, and this was not in the shop when I visited it last, which was about a week and a half ago. So really, really happy to see this there, and this was not getting left behind. Inside you do have custom inner, which is in immaculate condition as well. So yeah, just a great find for me, especially after just really getting into the Scorpions, because if this was a couple of months ago, that might have been left. So, Scorpions, Crazy World. Next up is from Nuclear Assault, and this is their EP, The Plague. Loving Nuclear Assault. Just kind of old school thrash, really. I'm sure you've all listened to Nuclear Assault, but this is their EP. As you can see, there's only 3 tracks on each side, and this has actually been sitting here a while. This is one of the albums I saw the last time I was in, and I left it behind, and I kind of regretted it. So this was definitely getting picked up this time. Inside you do get their custom inner with the photo montage, and you do get the lyrics on the back with credits and so on. So really happy to pick that up. Nuclear Assault, The Plague. And next one was a great find. This was also one that I left behind, mainly because of the price, and I already had a stack of stuff that I wanted to pick up, and I couldn't really afford to get it on this day, but thankfully it was still here. And this is Tesla's second album, The Great Radio Controversy. One of the rarer albums to find from Tesla. I already have Mechanical Resonance and Psychotic Supper, so this was a great one to add. This is from 1989, and this has got, if you've not heard this and you've heard Mechanical Resonance, this is a bit more aggressive, a bit more, just a bit more harder edged, I would say, and it's really, really great. And it comes with the inner, pictures and songs there, tracks, and it gives you this kind of wee story of where is it now? I was reading it. Oh yeah, you get a wee story down here, and it tells you why the album was called The Great Radio Controversy, and how it was Tesla who was meant to have invented it, but it was given to Marconi and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, really boring, but that kind of gives you a wee kind of bit of detail why it was called this. And if you've not heard this, check it out, because I do rate it higher than Mechanical Resonance, which is probably their most popular album. So really happy to pick that up. Was a bit pricier than the rest, but I thought I'm not leaving this for the second time in a row, because it will just be my luck that it goes the next time I go to pick it up. So that was coming home with me. So that's Tesla's Great Radio Controversy from 1989. Now we're on to the last two. Now the first one, which I'll just take out, you'll maybe be surprised that I don't already own, but it's not one of my favourite albums from this artist, which will also maybe surprise you. So I wasn't in any rush to pick it up. I do have it on CD anyway, but you do find with this album it can be really overpriced, and you'll see why in a minute. But it was always the price that put me off, because I wasn't really willing to spend stupid money to pick it up, because it's not one of my favourite albums from this artist. So it's originally from 1980. This is the reissue from 1987, and it's Ozzy's Blizzard of Oz. Now this is kind of now completed my Ozzy 80s collection. You might be surprised that this is the last one to go in, but like I said, it probably wouldn't be even my top 3 Ozzy albums, which might shock some of you, because I know it's a classic and all this, but I just think other albums just have a bit more substance. Obviously you can't complain about who's on the album. I mean, you've got Randy Rhoads, who's just amazing, and if you watch any of the live stuff with Ozzy and Randy, it's absolutely awesome. And you've got the absolute classics like Mr. Crowley, Suicide Solution, Goodbye to Romance, Crazy Train. I mean, everybody knows this album, but like I said, it's just not got that certain kind of oomph that the other ones have. So that's why I've always just kind of like held off and not kind of gone in hard trying to get this album. Inside, you do get this nice price inner, which is honking, but never mind. And like I said, you do get it on the Epic label, which they've actually misspelled Blizzard of Oz. They've spelled Oz with only one Z, so yeah, I wasn't too fussed in picking up an original, but it's, don't get me wrong, it's a good album and definitely worth having in the collection, but like I said, for me it's just missing that certain something. I was quite surprised because it did come with a big sticker here. If you can see this kind of patch here, it did have a big nice price sticker on the cover, and I did know it was coming like that. I didn't think I was going to get it off, but like I said, I wasn't too bothered. I just wanted it for the collection. But luckily, I think it was that old, it came off in one go. It did leave a bit of, oh yeah, that's a good view of it there. You can see the patch it's left. It did leave some residue, but it's not sticky, it's completely come off. So I was really happy to get the sticker off as well. So that is that. That's the reissue from 1987. I think I mentioned that anyway. But yeah, happy to have that, and now completed Ozzy on vinyl, all his 80s stuff. So really happy with that. Ozzy, Blizzard of Oz. Now, onto the Jewel in the Crown. This was the very first album I picked up on my dig yesterday, and I was in a bit of a fluster because I couldn't believe it was this album. I'll start off by saying this was £18, and even at that I was like, what's wrong with this? So I took it out the cover that it was in, opened it up as a gatefold, opened it up, had a look at it, absolutely amazing condition. So I was actually on, I noticed it was a Dutch pressing, so I actually was on Discogs in the shop thinking, why is this so cheap? So checking it on Discogs, checked it was Dutch pressing, checked the catalogue numbers, everything added up, and I was just confused. So confused and happy at the same time, but still a bit confused. And I thought maybe it's not the version that I think it is, maybe the vinyl's rubbish. Turns out the vinyl is, I would say, excellent. So there's no problems with the vinyl, no problems with the cover. So I'm confused at why it's only £18 when I'm not, like, the shop doesn't overcharge, but there are records there that you would think are rarer and a bit more expensive, which they are. So the shop obviously does keep up with pricing of records, and I'm just still confused why it was so cheap. So you guys can maybe help me out here. So the album is Black Sabbath. As you can see on Vertigo from 1970. And everything adds up. I've checked out the catalogue numbers, the pressing, the matrix numbers, everything adds up, and this was only £18. I would say this cover is at least VG+. It is the gatefold. On the inside is misspelled. Ozzy is misspelled. It has two S's instead of two Z's. All I'll do is I'll show you the vinyl. It doesn't come with the Vertigo swirl inner, but I mean, you can buy one of them. And here we go. I mean, the vinyl is just absolutely superb. And this is what I was most worried about when I checked the vinyl at the counter. I was just like, what is going on here? So here we go. That is side A, and that is side B. £18, and I thought, I nearly ran out the shop. I thought this is an absolute steal, but I got home and I was like, is there something I'm missing here? So maybe you guys can help me out, but it all seems to add up. So I don't know if I've just absolutely stolen this album or there's something I'm missing. So that is the debut from Black Sabbath on Vertigo from 1970. Dutch pressing. I'll open it up for you just in case you haven't seen it, but I'm sure you have. So yeah, back is how it should look. No tracks, nothing. All you do get is the catalogue number. So as of now, probably my best pickup ever on a dig, but guys, please give me your input. Am I missing something? I don't know. Checked on Discogs with the same pressing, and the cheapest one I could find was 53 quid. So 18. I don't know. But nonetheless, absolutely chuffed to have the Black Sabbath debut. Absolute classic. I don't know what else to say. That is that. So really hope you enjoyed my vinyl update. As usual, let me know what you think. Thanks to everyone who subscribes, everybody who watches, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which I think will be Needle Drop number 2. So until then, see you guys and look forward to your feedback. Cheers.